But we continue onward today with our Joey Murphy SP course. If this is the first video you've watched in a while, we are going over the entire chapter in Joseph Murphy's masterpiece, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, called The Subconscious Mind and Marital Problems. It's one of the best chapters that I know of when it comes to relationship advice, quote-unquote SP advice, in the LOA space. Murphy, is such a great teacher, so practical, at the same time, so spiritual, and I think that his SP advice is so pragmatic compared to a lot of the SP metaphysical advice we might hear, including the advice from Neville. As my coaching partner Marvin Daniels and I have often said, Florence Scovel Shinn and Joseph Murphy were far more practical SP teachers than Neville ever was, at least for most people. One thing that really has hit home reading this chapter has been, and again, the link is in the description. Did I already say that? The link is in the description if you want to start from the beginning of this course. One thing that's really hit home from reading this chapter again is how much Murphy emphasizes the qualities that you want both in yourself and in a loving romantic partner. How important it can be to meditate upon those qualities, to pray for those qualities, to contemplate those qualities, both before bed and in the morning, and as you go through your day. So often we say, oh, I want love, but our thoughts throughout the day are primarily, when we think of relationships, perhaps antagonistic. They're not truly loving when it comes to thinking about relationships or being in a romantic relationship. And Murphy says we can change this. He says it again and again and again in this chapter. So the next section is called The Nagging Wife. Murphy writes, many times the reason the wife nags is because she gets no attention. Oftentimes it is a craving for love and affection. Give your wife attention and show your appreciation. Praise and exalt all her many good points. I want to say here, first of all, you might think that this is kind of old-fashioned, the nagging wife, It's not old-fashioned at all, the advice that Murphy's giving. This is evergreen SP advice. So many people who want their SPs back, who are on Reddit or YouTube watching or reading this SP content. What they really crave is love and affection. And as Marvin and I always tell people, that love and affection has to start from yourself. You have to give more love to yourself. And people just are not honest about this. They're not honest about how much they crave love and affection, and they're not honest about giving themselves love. They say, oh yeah, I do plenty of things for myself. And they really don't a lot of the time. They don't give that gift to themselves. And listen, I'm no better than anybody else. This goes for me too. We have to give ourselves love. That's what Murphy's getting at so beautifully in this chapter. He goes on to say, there's also the nagging type of woman who wants to make the man conform to her particular pattern. This is about the quickest way in the world to get rid of a man. This is something else we see a lot. Marvin and I were talking the other day about how it seems like there's many women today who are in that more type A masculine energy than perhaps there used to be, and a lot of these women do not actually want to be in that type of energy all the time. Perhaps they like that energy for work, but many of these same women, when they get home from work, they ideally would like to be in a more relaxed, loving type of environment where they didn't have to always be making all those kind of decisions that they might have to do at work or what have you. And what you often see with this type of woman is that they try to make the man conform to their particular pattern. And as Murphy says, there's no quicker way to get rid of a man than that. Marvin and I have had a lot of female clients that they say, I don't get it. I don't know why this guy leaves me or why I keep on losing these guys. And often the reason is this, what Murphy alludes to here. They're trying to make their partner conform to their particular pattern, and they don't. The guy's not attracted to that. There's not enough love and affection there for the guy. Murphy says, the wife and the husband must cease being scavengers, always looking at the petty faults or errors in each other. Let each give attention and praise for the constructive and wonderful qualities in the other. Again, old man Murphy just hitting these points home again and again. They're so spot on. By the way, if you want help integrating this stuff, Marvin and I are giving free consultations. If you've never spoken to us before, the link is in the description. You can fill out the questionnaire. We will give you a free, no pressure, 30-minute consultation to help you resolve your SP issues. The wife and husband must cease being scavengers. Isn't this what it's like emotionally all the time? Wanting that love and not getting that love from the other person. You think, oh, there's something wrong with them. When really, if we were giving more love to ourselves and to our partner, they might show us more love in return. Let us give attention and praise for the constructive and wonderful qualities that our partner has. Oof, that's how to do it. It's how to have a mutually beneficial exchange, a loving relationship. Next section in the chapter is called the brooding husband. If a man begins to brood, grows morbid against his wife because of the things she said or did, he is, psychologically speaking, committing adultery. One of the meanings of adultery is idolatry, i.e., giving attention to or uniting mentally with that which is negative and destructive. When a man is silently resenting his wife and is full of hostility toward her, he is unfaithful. He is not faithful to his marriage vows, which are to love, cherish, and honor her all the days of his life. I put something on the one of the Neville Reddit pages recently, and it was Neville talking, and Neville's very far out. Again, he's much more of a far out teacher than Murphy and Shin are when it comes to this SP advice. Neville was saying that you don't fall in love with a person, you fall in love with a state. People didn't like that post when I put that up there. But what I was saying in that post, what Neville was saying is just what Murphy's saying here. Again, coming back to qualities that we want to embody in our life and want to see in our partner. So many men and women, a lot of guys, a lot of men, they're silently resentful of their wife or their partner. There's a quiet hostility there. Murphy is saying that is being unfaithful. There are a lot of people who want their SPs back, but they're quietly resentful towards their SP at the same time. It doesn't work well like that. You might get your SP back. You might manifest them back. But then that silent hostility is not going to go away. That has to be looked at. He is not faithful to his marriage vows, or she is not faithful to her marriage vows, which are to love, cherish, and honor her or him all the days of their life. Qualities, deep qualities. we don't pay lip service to these things. We must meditate and contemplate them and feel them in our life. That's why Neville said feeling is the secret. Murphy says the man who is brooding, bitter, and resentful can swallow his sharp remarks, abate his anger, and he can go to great lengths to be considerate, kind, and courteous. He can deftly skirt the differences. Through praise and mental effort, he can get out of the habit of antagonism. Then he will be able to get along better, not only with his wife, but with business associates also. Assume the harmonious state, and eventually you will find peace and harmony. This is freaking great advice. Again, this book is like just so much of like the core LOA teachings that, you know, you hear tossed around. Like the deeper core meaning of so much of this stuff is explained in this book, including in this chapter. We talk about reactivity all the time on this channel. You know, I often say, you know, so much of this stuff's just about learning to be less reactive, negatively. Learning to react more positively, more neutrally. That's why I recommend the 7-day mental diet to a lot of people. I'll put a link above to the playlist we have on that. If we learn to be less reactive, we become more loving to ourselves and to others, like our partner. He can go to great lengths to be considerate, to be kind, to be courteous. He can definitely skirt the differences. When you are in a relationship where your marriage vows are to love, cherish, and honor for all thy days, you want to go to great lengths to be considerate, kind, and courteous. You want to definitely skirt the differences. Through praise and mental effort, there will be effort. Through praise and mental effort, he can get out of the habit of antagonism. So much of that's reactive. Through praise and mental effort, you can get out of that. If you do that, you're not going to be able to just get along better with your partner. You're going to be able to get along better with everybody. And I love this line. We're going to leave it with this. If you have any questions, you can reach me at radicalcounselor.com. This is a wonderful line. Assume the harmonious state, and eventually you will find peace and harmony.